Theoretically, everyone watching this video has more money than me in their bank account if you subtract the equity value of my company, which doesn't buy me.
The only thing wealthy people like to do more than hoard wealth is to outright lie.
Yeah. So listen, wealthy people, and I guess like MrBeast, this is what they like to do. This is why you gotta stop listening to fucking people who say stuff like, when you bring up net worth, they go, well, that's not real money in their hands. It's just, shut up. Please stop talking. You're annoying the shit out of me. Here's the reality, right? Rich people do not pay themselves money, right? They save that money and they have it either reinvested into the company or reinvesting into stock buybacks to inflate their value, because the less stocks that are out into the public, the more valuable your stocks are, right? And then they go to the bank and they take lowest interest rate loans out against their net worth, and they pay themselves with that, and they don't have to pay taxes on that. That's the problem. And we probably need to talk about some kind of a wealth tax. I don't know. But that's how they do it. So that's what you have to understand when any fucking conservative cum guzzler goes, well, they don't have that money in there. Shut up, please. Just shut the fuck up. I just don't know. If you're worth $1 billion, you are more rich than the guy worth $10,000. I don't know how to talk to you. You know, like, common sense should dictate that. I guess it's common sense when we believe in a magical apple curse, but it's not common sense when we understand that people with a higher net worth or have significantly more money. It blows my goddamn mind. But okay.
They sincerely believe that you are stupid. Wealthy
people are getting dumber, so
people love to come onto podcasts or be interviewed by magazines that they own and act like they have no access to this enormous amount of wealth that they're accruing for seemingly no reason. You can even see it in the comments of the video.
Bro, Elon Musk, Elon Musk bought Twitter with his net worth from Tesla. Like,
that I have made. There are people making $30,000 a year at a shitty job that are playing defense for billionaires.
True.
But their strategy is out in the open. They write books about it so that you'll buy them, increase their wealth, and then pretend like one day you'll have all the money that they will.
Well, that's what it is, right? These people are buying into this concept of the American dream, and I like the idea of the American dream. You work hard and you can earn stuff, but it just doesn't really exist anymore. Like, realistically speaking, you're probably going to do worse than your parents, and it just sucks because the rich are extracting significant amounts of wealth from you, and they're centralizing it at the top, and then they're blaming illegal immigrants. And then while they invite more into the country so that they can do work for them for cheaper. That's what's really going on here, and you're falling for it if you don't. Like, I don't care that illegal immigrants are coming here. It's not good, but like, I'm more worried about the billionaires inviting them. That's what you should be more worried about. That's why they keep coming. Like, what are we talking about here?
It's called buy, borrow, die. And it's the strategy that somebody like MrBeast uses in order to hide his wealth from ever being taxed. In that video, he literally says, if you subtract the wealth of my assets. Again, they just boldface put it in front of you because they think you're a moron. This strategy works by buying assets that constantly appreciate, borrowing from lending institutions that help you buy the asset in the first place, and then eventually dying. The point of the last step is so that you can pass on your assets to your children, and then they don't have to pay capital gains tax on the appreciation. And at this point in our nation,
that's fucking crazy. I didn't even know it was that deep.
Politicians are exclusively there to run defense for the wealthy of this country. The amount of legalized bribery that we like to call lobbying that happens in this country.
I mean, listen, I'm generally a fan. Like, I think it's okay for institutions to lobby for themselves, but they are so powerful that they overtake the conversation. I think McDonald's should be able to sit down at the table and be like, hey, I want to be able to be part of the conversation about what we are and are not allowed to put out into your food. But I also think that maybe we should have a lot more power to say, that's going to kill us. Please don't put that in our food. You know what I mean? But like, it seems like we don't. We definitely don't. I mean, look at all the pharmaceutical shit. I would not doubt that like lobbyists spend the most on pharmaceuticals, which I think is what this graph is showing us. Of course they do, because they make so much money in America. People are dying. This is the thing. I just need you guys to understand. This is one thing I want you to take away. Pharmaceutical companies that overcharge drastically are literally murderers. They're not literally murderers, but they are killing more people than a fucking serial killer. They are killing more people than 100 serial killers. They're probably killing more people than 10,000 serial killers, because what they do is they maximize their profit at the expense of you and other people getting health care. That's their job. Same thing with insurance companies. What they do is they set prices high. They make it very difficult. So you're either going to have to spend out the fucking ass for health insurance or these pharmaceutical products and have a worse quality of life, or you're just not going to be able to afford it. That's what it is. But we don't look at it like that. We look at it in a way where it's like, well, they're not killing anybody. They're just trying to make that bread. You can make bread without financially oppressing other people. These things. This is why people are becoming radicalized towards like less capitalism. Like I used to be a super big capitalism cum guzzler. At this point, I still generally like capitalism for things like fast food places. Competition can be great. Healthcare should not, like, frankly, we should just go right to like a single payer option that's run by the government. Fuck the rest of this shit. That's what we need to do. But I don't know if we're going to get there.
Every single year is so exorbitant, it looks insane when you put it down on paper. Politicians on both sides of the aisle will take any amount of money that you will give them because they have now accessed power and never want to give it up, because now they have proximity to wealth. Now they have the ability to accrue wealth on their own and use the same strategy. It all comes back to buy, borrow, and die. And it's so outright infuriating that in the wealthiest nation that has ever existed on this planet, we have to deal with such dog shit on a day-to-day basis. Healthcare, housing, childcare, education, food in general is all.
Yes, and why do you think that more educated people are not having kids? Because they want to be responsible before they have a kid. Well, when your house is insanely expensive, your healthcare is expensive, and your insurance and this and that, and everything is so goddamn expensive. That's why people are putting off having kids until they're older. You want to increase the birth rate? White supremacists, we need to deal with these problems.
All through the roof to enrich one specific group of people. There is this effect that happens on people when they go to China or Japan and walk around on the streets and ride on the clean trains and eat really good food. When they get back to America, it looks and feels fucking horrendous.
I wouldn't know. I've never done that before.
This is
I'm also not a fucking weeb.
literally one of the episodes of The Sopranos, but they go to Italy rather than Japan or China. Somehow, in a country with trillions of tax dollars, we have absolute dogshit cities, no community, no healthcare, no free childcare. Food costs are out the fucking ass.
It's true. Well, we also have a much larger country than a lot of other these countries, but I understand the general sentiment.
I'm not saying China is perfect, but wouldn't it be nice?
I wouldn't really reference China. Maybe Japan, maybe better reference, point of reference in my opinion.
If the wealthy actually contributed their fair share, and our streets could work properly, or we could have a train every once in a while.
Sure, true.